Welcome back to Hidden Hype, where the shadows hold the most electrifying stories.
On the night of February 24, 1978, 5 friends left a basketball game in Chico, California. They were excited. The next morning, they were scheduled to compete in a Special Olympics basketball tournament. But they never made it home. Days later, their car was found abandoned deep in the Plumas National Forest, nearly 70 miles off their normal route. The vehicle was undamaged, the keys were missing, and the men had vanished into the freezing wilderness. Months later, searchers would uncover a disturbing series of discoveries that still haunt investigators today. This is the story of the Yuba County Five. The 5 men were Jack Madruga, Bill Sterling, Ted Weir, Jackie Hewitt, Gary Mathias. They all lived in the Yuba City, Marysville area of Northern California. The men had intellectual disabilities but were independent and responsible. Basketball was their passion. Their families described them as excited and nervous about the upcoming tournament. That Thursday night, they drove to Chico State University to watch a basketball game. After the game ended around 10 p.m., they began the drive home. It should have taken about an hour. They never arrived. 3 days later, a forest ranger discovered something strange. A 1969 Mercury Montego sat abandoned on a remote mountain road. The location made no sense. The men had somehow driven 70 miles in the wrong direction, deep into the Plumas National Forest. Even stranger, the car was not stuck. The gas tank still had fuel. The battery worked. If they had stayed with the car, they likely would have survived. But the 5 men had left the vehicle and walked into the mountains. Temperatures that night dropped below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. A man named Joseph Shones came forward with a bizarre story. That same night, he had suffered a heart attack while driving through the mountains. His car became stuck in the snow. While lying in pain beside the road, he claimed he saw something strange. He reported seeing a group of men with flashlights, a woman carrying a baby, strange lights moving in the forest. Shones shouted for help, but no one responded. Investigators later wondered, were these the 5 men? Or was something else happening in the mountains that night? In June 1978, search teams finally made a breakthrough. They discovered a Forest Service trailer high in the mountains. Inside the trailer was the body of Ted Weir. Evidence suggested he had survived for weeks inside the shelter before dying, but investigators were stunned by what they found. Inside the trailer were canned food, military rations, warm clothing, firewood, enough supplies to keep someone alive for months, but most of it had never been used. Nearby, the remains of Bill Sterling and Jack Madruga were discovered in the forest. Jackie Hewitt's bones were later found miles away. But one man was never found. Gary Mathias disappeared without a trace. Mathias had been a U.S. Army veteran and was the most experienced outdoorsman in the group. Some investigators believe he may have led the group into the mountains. Others believe he may have survived longer than the others. But despite extensive searches, Gary Mathias was never found. Over the years, investigators have proposed several theories. Some believe the men simply became lost. Others suspect they may have encountered someone or something in the mountains that night. The strange witness reports of lights and voices continue to puzzle investigators, and the question remains, Why did they leave a perfectly working car in freezing temperatures? More than 45 years later, the mystery of the Yuba County Five remains unsolved. What happened in the mountains that night? Did the men become lost? Did they encounter someone dangerous? Or is there something about that night we still don't understand? The mountains of Northern California keep their secrets well, and the story of the Yuba County Five may remain one of America's strangest cold cases. Follow Hidden Hype, where the shadows hold the most electrifying stories.